What is up, everyone? Welcome to another October daily video where I am doing 31 days of Halloween drawings. Today we are going to be drawing a creepy skull. Now when I say creepy, I mean creepy. Let's get started. Alright everyone, let's get started on our creepy skull for this month. Like before, I did my sketch beforehand on some paper and translated everything on here and trying to make it as streamlined as possible. I don't want these videos going on for absolutely ever, so did the sketches beforehand. So one nice thing with Procreate is, say I'm making a circle, make the circle, hold it there for a second, you're gonna tap, and it makes it a perfect circle, and then let's fix that a little bit. Redo that one. So you just make a circle, hold it, tap, it makes a perfect circle, and then I can move this where I want it to be. There we go. Making a creepy skull. So this one's definitely going to be a little more. Ooh, forgot to bring that down. There we go. So this one's going to be a little creepier, I guess, and than my other drawings I've done this month. A lot of the ones I've been doing have been a little more cartoony, goofy kind of looking. But this one I wanted to do a little more visceral, a little more creepy. The Grim Reaper already was kind of a cute skull character, so I thought, why not make this one just a tad bit creepier? So that's what we're doing. All right. So, the pen that the brush, I should say, that I'm using is one of my own. Pretty much all the brushes I will be using in this illustration and any illustration that you see me draw on my iPad are ones I made myself. This is the streamlined, smooth lined, fine liner that I made. If you want to get these packs, they are available on Gumroad for $2. But if you actually are a Patreon member, you actually get these with your subscription. If you have that $1 subscription, you actually get it. So it's a nice little discount compared to buying it just on Gumroad. What was I saying though? Yeah, so if you want to go check out my Patreon, getting those brush packs aren't the only thing that you'd be getting today if you were to sign up. All the sketches that I did for the month of October are all on there as well for that $1 membership. If you get the $5 one, you can get the actual full 5,000 by 5,000 pixel drawings that I'm doing all of October, and in the future, any drawings that I do, you get the high resolution versions for that $5 membership. And yeah, if you want to check it out, it's something that I truly appreciate those who already are on there, and just those of you who are subscribed. I would love to do stuff like this for you guys, for a living, but unfortunately I can't do that at the moment. But all the support that you guys give me helps me get closer and closer to that goal. I love doing character design. I love doing all this kind of stuff, and I truly would love to do it for a living. And yeah, no, but seriously, I appreciate everything that you guys do for me. It keeps me going. It keeps me motivated to continue to draw, continue to make stuff for everyone. And yeah, so thank you. But yeah, this is turning out pretty cool so far. But no, I love Halloween. Ooh, I don't like that. I love Halloween. It's always fun. It's always spooky. I love going to haunted houses and all that kind of stuff during the Halloween season. Though this year with COVID and stuff like that, still kind of going through the world. I don't know if there'll be any haunted houses this year. I was a little sad I didn't get to go any last year as well. But, you know, maybe things will calm down by the time the haunted houses start opening up, which is very soon, so we'll see. But I really do miss going to that kind of stuff. It's always my favorite thing. That's why I love this time of the year. And last year was just kind of sad that I didn't get to do any of that. But like I said, hopefully this year I can go get spooked a little bit at a haunted house. I don't know if I've already said it before on this video. I know I've said it in some other videos this month, but I'm using the 3rd generation iPad Pro. It's a little bit older now at this point, but I still love using it for pretty much everything. Anytime I'm making any cartooning, any of that kind of stuff professionally, for clients, for myself, for this channel, I am pretty much almost always using this iPad with Procreate and the Gen 1 Apple Pencil. So it's something to look into if you like doing digital art. Like I said, I use this professionally all the darn time. So it is slow. I get little lags and crashes and things like that every once in a while. You guys have already seen a couple times where it's slowed down on me and I gotta kind of slow down for a second and let it catch up. But I don't know, I absolutely love using this for virtually everything. Literally everything. I use my iPad when it comes to doing any illustrations. So the big difference though that you will see if you're using these older ones compared to the newest ones is you can't get as much layers and things like that in your images, but honestly that never affects me too much. When I'm doing my cartooning stuff, I normally don't have that many layers, but if you're doing complex pieces, the new iPad might be worth it for you. But honestly, this works out great for me. I kind of want to do a review down the road again. I did a review when I first bought this a couple years ago. Kind of do a little review and see if it's still worth it. I'll give you kind of a hint. I think it is still worth it, but I'll go more in depth on why it might not be worth it for those who want to buy it now. Now, the one upside is it's not a couple grand to get one. It's pretty cheap compared to the current versions of the iPad. So that is definitely a selling point for me and for a lot of people. So something to keep in mind. Okay, no, I'm gonna keep those. I do red. Okay, I think I got all of the lines in. Oh, got a little rogue line down here for that guy. All right, so I'm gonna go to yellowish color. Don't want this to be just a boring. Okay, one thing I forgot to do. So we got our new layer here, but we're gonna go back up to our line layer. We're gonna go to reference. So that way when we drop our colors in, we don't fill the entire screen. It references the lines from that layer. So if I do this, it drops right in. You can slide back and forth to adjust how strong. Is that a little too yellow? I think that might be a little too yellow. We'll go. Bring it more to the orange. See how that looks. That's like skin color now. I kind of want it to be that black colored yellow when you haven't brushed your teeth in 7 months kind of look. But let's see. There we go. Get these in there. I'm gonna try doing this fill. So this is an option you can do. Doesn't always work well for me. It looks like it's working well right now. But doing the autofill, I'm blanking on what it's called now. It was just on the screen here. Let me see. The recolor filler. So with that, you can select the color that you want, and then you can just tap in the space. It doesn't always work as well as it is right now for me, which is why I tend to not always do it. Make these a little darker. That. Wow, that's actually working very well for me today, so I'm actually quite surprised. Let's see. Get grayish color. The eyeballs. Oops. There we go. White. Fill in this section here. Alright, I think this is looking pretty cool. It's really creepy, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty stylized, like I said, compared to some of the other drawings I've done this month. Let's go in and add some creepy vein lines here going towards the pupil there. Just add a little more creep factor to the eyeball area. Bring a little strong focus that way to the eyes. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make another layer. We're gonna go to this clipping mask. That's gonna clip it to the color layer from down below. Now we're gonna go to this pink. This is something I do as far as colors go, shading goes. I like to make a line, take the selection tool, fill it in that way. Kind of saves me a little bit of time most of the time. I don't have to be as precise about not going into an area I don't want it to be in. Alright, so what we're going to do right now with this little eyeball color thing, I want to add a more of a gradient look to it. So I'm going to go to Gaussian blur. You're going to want to make sure you're on that layer, Gaussian blur layer, and you can slide it back and forth. And this will give you a softer look to it all. Just get rid of that extra. So then what you're gonna do, 3 fingers is at least the standard. I think you can change the macro on that. So this is gonna be its own layer. Just bring that there. Now it's kind of a little bit more of a bloodshot colored eye. And let's start going in and adding shadows. So another layer, clipping mask, shadows. I'm gonna go to black. My light source is coming from above. Now this is gonna look weird at the moment because I will turn the opacity down in a minute. I'm just kind of getting the basic idea of where the shadow is gonna be laying. I want this to be a pretty heavily shadowed image, so we're gonna go into this, drop that down. Seems like a good shadow. So right now it's probably going to be one of the most boring parts to watch, maybe. I don't know. If you're like me, this is satisfying to watch, but this is my favorite part of adding to a drawing, is getting these shadows to finally start coming in. And like I said, I'm gonna try not to fast forward too much, but in these moments where there's not a whole lot going on other than just adding shadows, I might fast forward just a little bit, speed things up. Like I said, I don't want these videos to go on forever, so we'll see. And just do your best, if you are following along, to stay within an idea of where your shadows are going to be landing. That's always going to be important, so things don't look too crazy as far as your shadows go. I mean, even I tend to forget as I'm drawing where my shadow is coming from, but if you can do your best, just try to remember where you have your light source coming from and then where you need to add those shadows. Sorry if I'm breathing heavy. My allergies have been killing me lately. This is that time of the year. My allergies are just not my friend. My body just hates me at this time of the year, so I do apologize if you hear me going. I'm not dying, I promise. Just a little stuffy, so I end up having to kind of be a mouth breather a bit. So one thing I am going to do now, since I have one side of this thing pretty heavily shaded, actually, just a little more of that. I want to bring this out just a tad more. And we'll do that quick selection, or the freehand selection tool. That was pretty bad, but saves me a little bit of time. Alright, so one thing I like to do now is I'm actually going to go in with my eraser, give this a nice little rim light effect. And actually, you know what, I need to go to my fine liner. This is my smooth one, so, oh gosh, way too big. And this will really help break up everything. The way light works normally is there's normally light coming from multiple different directions, so adding a rim light to break up some of your colors is very beneficial. So really adds a little extra character to the piece. Doesn't feel so flat. I'm just gonna kind of go around and do that to all the areas that are kind of trapped in all shadow. That way you actually know that it is in shadow. After a while, your eyes will start to think that everything you're looking at is just that, supposed to be that color. It's not like it's a shadow or anything. So it is nice to make sure you're going in and adding these rim lights. It helps really break things up. Yeah, using the streamlined eraser for sections like this can be, or when you're doing big erase sections like this, it can be kind of a pain because it makes a very smooth line, which is what it's made to do, but that makes it like, so when you're trying to go like this, it's trying to smooth out everything that you're doing, so. Okay, oh, just kind of frozen on me for a second. There we go. Like I said, that is kind of a downside of having this older iPad here, but time for highlights. Go to white, and I'm not gonna add a crap ton of highlights on here. Actually, you know what? I wonder how a nice little red highlight, pink, not pink. I'm gonna get a little more. Yeah, like that. Alright, so this is going to be our highlight color. It'll look better when I bring down the opacity, but right now, oh my goodness. think this pink will give it a very cool, oops. So again, yeah, make sure you're on clipping mask so you don't have lines going out that side like that was. But yeah, I think this pink is going to give this kind of a cool look to it. And like I said in some other videos this month so far, I normally don't put all my highlights right on the edge. Sometimes it works on the edge. Man, my iPad is not happy right now. I have been on it a lot lately, the last couple days, getting this stuff. What is going on here? There we go. Getting all this stuff done for the month of October, so yeah, it's not happy with me, but it is getting the job done, slowly but surely. And we'll bring that opacity down quite a bit. And let's see, maybe one more layer of that. I'm gonna use my airbrush. Clipping mask. Airbrush is a little too big right now. Okay, clipping mask. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over here, make sure you're still on that same layer. Gaussian blur, layer, and give that a little bump. Bring that down. Okay, so one of my favorite parts to go back in, and we are going to start adding, okay, another layer. Adding some fine lines in here, make that a little smaller. I'm doing this all on a separate layer so that I can just go in after with my eraser. Just kind of get rid of everything that is over the edge so I don't have to think about whether it's where I want it to be. So I can just do this now. You don't have to worry about your lines being perfect each time you make a swipe. So that's always kind of nice. That's why I like doing this all on a separate layer. And then you can go in just merge them when you are done making any extra lines that you want to make. These little lines, I always like doing these. Kind of gives it a creepy look, like it's the creature or whatever you're drawing. A little tired or something. Get rid of that rogue line. Now, a separate layer so I don't accidentally delete any of the other ones that I made. I'm actually going to go to this. I'm actually going to turn off streamline. This one has a little bit more of a taper. So what I'm going to do is kind of give this see how this looks. I don't like the look of it. I can just now if I'm doing this for a client, I might not be as reckless with these lines like I am right now, but this is to save some time just really throwing down lines to see how they look, deleting them if I don't like them. But that's the fun thing of art. You can experiment. It's not always about making the world's best drawing, but it's fun to sometimes experiment. I'm trying to make this kind of look a little more visceral than some of my other drawings I've done this month so far. So But if you haven't seen all of them yet this month, there should be a list on the screen of all the ones we've completed so far. So if there's some on there that you see that you would like to watch, I'll leave a link for the playlist. I should have it up on the corner here for you too, so that you kind of so you can find it that way as well. Once this video's over, you can just click on that link. Now, one last thing that I'm going to add to this that I haven't added to any of the other drawings so far is the texture here. This is kind of gives it a, you know, I don't even know how to describe it, but let's go in, do dark brown, and then this is going to be a clipping mask. I'm going to just give this whole thing kind of this dirty texture. Go to multiply that down a little bit. Just makes everything just look a little dirtier, a little creepier. And then we're going to go in here with the airbrush like I normally do. I'll bring that opacity down. Alright, so there it is, our finished creepy skeleton skull for one of our videos for the 31 days of creepy October drawing videos. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet. These have been a lot of fun to make, so if you don't want to miss any of these, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to have a link to the playlist with the rest of these videos on there, so go check those out as well. But remember, like always, keep drawing, and until next time, bye!